Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Digital City newsletter podcast. Today we've got Jimmy from Mabo, we've got Bob from SockMonkey, and we've got Ashley from Tascomp. And what unites them all is they were all the joint, well, in the final of the award that Digital City sponsored on the Tees Tech Awards a few weeks back. So we just thought it would be good to get their opinion on a few things relating to the awards and also to their own successes. So welcome, all three of you.
Cheers, Dad.
Hello. In 30 seconds, do you want to give us a quick overview of each one of your businesses?
Who's going to start? Sounds like a Bob start this one.
Go on then.
Me. All right. So, so SockMonkey is a video game development company. So we develop video games. So we work for hire stuff. So that's co-development and doing a lot of porting work, so taking things from like PC to console and vice versa. And we're also investing all our profits into making our own IP, which should be launching later next year to help, which in turn help increase our portfolio and also lets us get bigger and better work for hire projects in the future.
Exciting. Ashley, and you next.
I was going to go last again, Try to hear what everybody else has said and then go for it. Okay, so I'm here with from Tascomp's point of view. We do industrial control and monitoring systems. Done it for a very, very long time. I'm just the end of a chain on that. But in essence, we do systems for things like controlling and monitoring processes for, say, manufacturing aircraft parts, engine development, through to looking at manufacturing processes and looking at things like the production of handbags for luxury products or pillows and quilts or sawmills and probably everything in between. So it's a really wide and varied kind of platform. And equally, we have a strand where we use the software for alarm management in air traffic control towers. So we have a 22-year contract with the MOD at the moment, which is nice and handy.
22 years, wow.
Yeah, it's 19 years of support as well, which is great. See me out anyway.
I was going to say, there's your retirement sorted.
Absolutely, yeah.
And last, but by no means least, over to Mabo.
How on earth did we beat these two businesses in that competition, by the way? Jesus Christ. So Mabo are a paid advertising agency. So we manage paid advertising accounts only on Google for businesses. Our main stats on that is we manage over £3.5 million worth of advertising spend on behalf of our 350 strong clients. And we're a premier partner of Google, a channel partner of Microsoft, and a marketing partner of Facebook as well.
In your own right, you're all brilliant at what you do, so you all deserve to be in the final three, 100%. So into some questions. Start off quite generally with regards to the awards, and it is open to all three of you, but by all means, if somebody answers and you think, well, that's it, we'll move on to the next one. So how important do you think the awards are to you first and foremost as a business, and also to the region? And when I mean region, I mean Tees Valley.
Who's starting on this one? Well, there we go.
They are important. I think, interestingly, for us as a business, it's not make or break for us because we do a lot. We don't do any work in Tees Valley. That's a lie. We work with Double 11, but we know them really well. So, but most of our business is overseas or from down south. But in saying that, it's a big plus to have these awards and to be nominated and to get as far as we did, because it's kind of like reassuring that we're on the right track. We're getting recognised for what we do, but for us it's more about getting noticed in the area and showing what we're doing and raising awareness of what we're doing. And saying that this is happening here, because a lot of people don't know that games are made in Teesside and that the size of the games are made in Teesside. So for us, it's more of a case of a marketing thing and just getting the awareness out there. Definitely, it's big.
Ashley?
I'd have to agree with that. I mean, Bob's bang on with that. I mean, most of our work is not in the local area at all. You know, I mean, I was on a Teams call earlier to a customer in St. Petersburg in Russia. It's not where it's, you know, it's crazy really. We've got no profile locally. Very, very few customers that we have locally, and outside of that small band of people who we've worked with for a long time, we're just not known. But if we look at it sensibly, then there's an element there of the more we promote, the more we get youngsters coming through the university, we get graduates who are better qualified, and we know we get the pick of the crop at the end of the day is where we want to be. But equally for us, because a bulk of what we do is in manufacturing, if we can promote the local region, then we're in a state where we can improve, you know, the productivity locally, we can improve the profitability locally. That will generate work, that will generate employment, and it becomes a nice circle there from our point of view. So for us, we'd never gone into a sort of an awards element before. So although in my eyes we lost, you know, the guys there did a better job. It's still an element there where it was definitely worthwhile doing. It was definitely positive, and created not only some positivity internally with the staff, but also raised our profile, which is win-win.
Brilliant. Mr. Lees?
Yeah, so again, we're similar to both SockMonkey and Tascomp in regards to this. We're not, the majority of our clients aren't Teesside based either. I'd still probably operating about 5% of our clients are based in Teesside. But again, it's we didn't enter these awards in regards to if you win the Tees Tech Awards, we'll win more business. It wasn't for that really. It's not like a return on investment plan. For us, it was we're a very proud Teesside based business, and that was important is we need to help be one of these companies that shouts about Teesside, not just within Teesside itself, but also externally as well. We've done that ourselves, but I feel it's like we're much stronger as a collective. So for Mabo to be named as the leading company within this tech cluster within Teesside, and within tech, so as you mentioned there, Dave, there's 3 huge different companies. Got us as the marketing agency, SockMonkey as in games like Tascom, the software that they're creating, things like that. It's hugely vast. Arena, but also for us, our company name is the leading company within that. It's an element of pride, and so hopefully the message from Teesside about this tech industry coming out now is like, okay, world, here we are. This is Teesside. This is what we're doing. This is a tech cluster within Teesside, and for Mabo to be that head company within that is huge, massive for us, and it shows that. We know we've been doing well over the last 4 years in particular, but for everyone else to realise the fantastic work that we've done as well, it's like, Jesus Christ, that's really good.
I think that the thing that unites all 3 of you is that you are beacons for the Teesville outside of it, and I think there's a lack of awareness of the impact that you guys are having, and it's important that the impact is outside the region, because ultimately we need to bring wealth into it and do more of that. And all 3 of you are bringing that. So, and quite rightly, you were top 3, and I think just on that alone, it backs that up. I'm going to ask. Quite a direct, and by all means swerve if you want, but the awards, clearly we're focusing on the positives and is all celebrating what they are. But what are the themes or the things that you think or feel that we kind of should do better, both from a public sector and the business yourselves, or as businesses, should I say?
Can I go first on this one?
Of course.
So I know Bob's been leading things, but I'll interject here, Bob. For me, I feel it's also the message from these Tees Tech Awards in particular was, let's celebrate this fantastic industry within Teesside and everybody within Teesside. So, for example, I look at Tascom, and I know I messaged you about a week or 2 ago, Ashley, is like, I felt guilty that I was completely unaware of who you guys were before these awards, but that's a positive that comes from these awards, and there's companies that have come up there. There was that Code 4000, I think they're called, the guys who won the awards for Tech for Good. Found out them guys, that's something I want to help get involved. So that's really works well in regards to that. But I think what we need to do, and what I think we fell short of, I think, is I know about Bob's business, Bob knows about our business. We should be telling everybody else outside of the region about how good these businesses are. There needs to be a message. It's something that I look at the likes of Manchester, Leeds and London have done really well over the past 10 years, is shouting out as, okay, look what we're doing in these cities here. look at these growing companies, look at this fantastic office space. That's how Leeds got Sky Bet. That's how Leeds got Channel 4. How's Middlesbrough, how's Teesside going to get big companies come in there? The reason to do that is not by saying how good we are internally, it's how we're shouting about it externally. And I feel that's what should come from these Tees Tech Awards, and also get some kind of public sector backing from that. And I know obviously Dan does a fantastic job with what Digital City done over the years, but I feel we need something like a figurehead to really come from that and go externally and go to all these trade shows, go to these e-commerce shows, these game shows, everything else, and not represent a company but represent an area and say, come invest in Teesside. This is what we're doing. Your business should be a part of this.
So what are you doing from now on, David?
Say again, sorry.
What are you doing from now on? It sounds like you've got David mapped out now.
I mean, if there's one guy that's the best man for it, it's definitely David Dixon, let's be honest. So
absolutely, yeah.
Swiftly moving on, Bob.
I agree with these two, David. What are you up to? Come on. I think that the big thing for me, other than awareness, is I don't want to say the word educating, but making people. Okay, we'll say awareness again. Making the general public of Teesside aware what's here, and making them take it seriously, because I think as good as we're all doing, I feel we're at a tipping point of where the new boho buildings are being delayed and have been moved around and this and that, and we're getting the point now where we're outgrowing our office space and there's not a lot to find around the place. So if they're not careful, we could have an outpouring of skills and companies leaving the area to find other places. And you go on the Andy Preston's Facebook and the Gazette website and stuff, and you talk about all the new boho 10 in the tower or whatever it's going to be, and you see people saying, why do we need this space? Well, there's all these others. We need it because we need it. It's the jobs. If they don't get created, they're not going to stay here. They're not going to grow. Mm-hmm. And we just, I think that was something that the Tech Awards highlighted. There was companies there like I'd never heard of, and it's fascinating to hear. Everflow's a big one. I mean, you look at them. Yeah. I had heard them because they're in our building, but actually sitting there and watching the videos and seeing what they did, you're like, oh my God, they're massive, and they're going to be even bigger. And we can't afford to lose them from the area. It could end up creating thousands of jobs, or hundreds of jobs or whatever. But that's the big thing for me. The big scary thing is we all need to take it seriously. And actually that role of having the ambassador or whatever it was to go to these shows. Whenever we go to gaming shows, there's people from Canada come. Oh, do you want to come work in Halifax? Do you want to come and open a studio there? Yeah. And it's crazy, and just we need to get behind it. We need to get behind this vision of this digital city and just go for it. I think the big thing that we all need to do better as well is marketing, because we're all polite Northerners and all bashful about our successes.
Speak for yourself, Bob.
I know we've talked about this in the past quite regularly, and we just need to shout more, not just to each other, but to the UK and to the world, and proud and just grow it. Just get the news out there.
Ashley?
I mean, I can only add one other thing in there, and that's, to me, it always strikes me that, I mean, I'm an interloper. I came into the area because my wife got a job here first, but she's a local. And from that side of it, it was always that island region's amazing. We don't have to go too far from our doorstep, and we're kind of into the North York Moors. We can go across into the Dales and whatever. It's crazy. You look at the industry there. You look at what's been achieved over the years, and okay, we've had downturns and what have you, but that's the same everywhere. Mm-hmm. Somehow along the way, people need to realise that actually there's a hell of a lot going on. There's a hell of a lot to be shouting about and to be saying, well, no, we shouldn't put ourselves down first. We should be on the page of actually, the area is superb. It's got a lot going for it. We just need to pick it up more. So for me, it's much more on that angle, because there's a real element of it's too easy just to say where are you from? Right? Do I say I'm from Middlesbrough? Do I say I'm from wherever? No, I'm from this area now. I've been here 30 years. I think I can say I'm from the area now.
Yeah, you can.
I think we'll give you that one.
Yeah. As head of Seaside, I'll say you can do that. It's all right.
On behalf of Seaside in general, yeah.
We can clearly see it hasn't gone to your head. Anyway, swiftly moving on. So in terms of the awards, if you could add another category in, and I realise I'm putting you on the spot here, what would it be? So one category from each of you.
Best animal-based named game studio. Oh, shit, I said Fox might get it instead of us. Oh, never mind. I think there could be a few more categories based on specialist things. It was pretty good. I don't know if it was just because it was the first one, and obviously you're going to see a lot of people with repeated nominations. Like we had 2, Wanda had 4, Everflow had a few, Mabo had about 30. So
just two.
So that might just been an issue with just awareness and you know, and with it being the first one, and I think that'll grow as it goes on. But it would be nice to start getting more specialist awards, but again, I think that it needs to be a bigger thing as it goes, and just a bit more project based. Like, what was the big project?
Yeah,
the big success story of this year was Double 11 getting Minecraft.
Yeah.
That is just unbelievable, and that deserves an award for itself, and maybe even something like a lifetime achievement award for someone who's just, you know, done wonders for the areas over the years and stuff. So just 1 or 2 more specialist awards, like I said. I think that'll grow as the awards grow.
Interestingly enough, with that as well, Nikanda and the money they pulled in, the project they've got from Sweden is just ridiculous. You know, I mean, they're on our business estate. I didn't know they were there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. And equally for me, there should be an award for somebody who's not come out of boho. Just because that should cut down the field a bit.
Should we handicap boho then? Like golf.
To be fair though, it's pretty impressive. When you look at that, the backing in that area and what that's achieved in itself is huge.
Yeah.
You know, it's not insignificant, and that in itself should be noted.
I think that the variety for me is not celebrated enough, and you mentioned Nikanda and yourselves, Ashley, to be fair, and as Cleveland Engineering Systems based over near Darlington.
Yeah,
these are businesses that have significant impact in what you would call a tech and digital space in its wider sense, and yet most people, I can pretty much guarantee most people will not have heard of all 3 of you before the last 2 or 3 months. So it's something we need to get better at, and whether that's a transformational category, we look at that, or whether there's something else we put in there, but we definitely need to open it up so we've got more businesses that pretty much see themselves on the periphery, and might even think themselves, oh, you know, we could do that, or we could be in that category. We need to get them more involved.
I think other ones on there as well. I think Bob mentioned in regards to projects, and projects should be celebrated. I think campaigns as well. Someone went through a specific campaign that's been really good. I think the individual sector stuff, for example, we're in digital marketing. There's loads of good digital marketing companies on Seaside. You've got e-commerce, you've got games. Obviously, games is massive on Seaside. You've got SaaS companies. There's loads and loads and loads. And I think individual, because that's what I think me and you were discussing it as well, Bob, to be fair, really does. Like, there was literally 2 categories we could go in for, and we went in for them. So
yeah.
That was a frustration I found, because generally when we do award campaigns, we'll probably knock off about 6 or 7 categories. Whereas this one, it's the first.
11, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I want to win a lot. It's I'm a greedy man when it comes to awards. I like our shelves to be packed full of plastic. I like that perspex. But yeah, that's all I would say is like there's potential expansion on kinds of categories to celebrate. Because I think was it something like 25 companies went in for the one we were all shortlisted for, which to be shortlisted 3 of that is massive. So out of them 25 companies, they also could have got a bit of credit maybe in their individual niche. So it'd be great to have a games company of the year, a SaaS company of the year, a web dev company of the year, digital marketing company of the year, things like that. Because that potential is there in Seaside.
Yeah.
Superb. Just noticing we've got a few minutes, so go quick fire on this one if you don't mind. What is the best bit of advice you've ever been given?
Mine's from you, Dave.
Yeah, whatever. Go on.
It is, yeah.
Really?
Just you went to me a few months back to just know your value, know your worth. Don't sell yourself short. Like, always know how valuable you are, and it's always been a big thinker of mine. Like that's over the last few months in particular. So yeah, that's from you.
Oh, I'll pay you later.
I've got two. I think this one is the big one, but it's something that one of my old neighbours told me actually was when we first started. He was a big financial director for a company up here, and he said to me that cash flow is king, and he just said, just keep on track of your cash flow at all times, every week, every day if you have to. And I have since we started, and it's some people don't do it. I've seen some people don't even have a cash flow, and it panics me. But that thing, just keeping on my spreadsheet, is the big one. And then the other one is kind of like just a mentality that I've had where I realized that I was stressing myself out, and just the job was just overtaking my life. And I just realized that the worst case scenario is we go under and all our staff get really good jobs because they're really good people. And I'm like, hang on, if that's worst case scenario, then why am I stressing myself out about that? And I actually ended up relaxing and working a lot harder and not stressing about things as much. And we've been more successful since. Like, I've taken that attitude on. That sounds bad. We won't make anyone redundant and all that stuff, but it's just you can worry yourself so much about what if we don't get this job? Maybe we shouldn't hire these people in case we don't get that gig, or what if we're doing this gig and it pulls out? And it doesn't happen like that. You just got to go with the flow and just take it all as it comes and don't worry about it and just go for it.
Excellent. Ashley?
I'm struggling to go after this one with kind of one piece of something, but I think you're right Bob's right with that part, which is that it's probably the bit about some self-belief. It's the bit about, at the end of the day, if you don't try something, you'll never get anywhere.
Yeah.
It's that if you don't ask, you won't get, so, or shy bairns getting out, kind of terrible accent I've got.
We love it. Honorary two-sider.
But I think it's probably that. It's that element of understanding that. And I don't know whether I was ever told that or whether it's kind of something you just pick up over the course of time. But I think that's the reality of it. Is some things you've just got to go for and and form as you're going along, but not be scared of it. Mm-hmm. And the kind of element of it's something I've got from the point of view of nephews and nieces, of trying to inspire them and trying to say, it doesn't matter what the starting point is. If you kind of go in a direction and that's what you're interested in, then just go for it. You don't know where you'll end up, but there's a very good chance you can do very well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, final question, and it's a big one as far as DC is concerned. I realise Mabo haven't necessarily used our services in the recent past, so I'll focus this mainly on Bob and Ashley, who's currently working with us. So have you taken advantage of any of the services we offer, and what difference have they made to you and the business?
I'll actually first. Well,
yeah, you go.
It's almost a bit there are other companies out there that I wasn't aware of. There are other people in the same position, wherever they are in that whole transition, sizing, growth, whatever. That's insightful. That element of collaboration is useful to know that it's there and it's possible. So for me, the fact that coming from sort of not in a boho environment to kind of being aware about that there's something there that actually will support the digital industry is that's incredibly useful and powerful. So from my perspective, across the whole lot in the last probably couple of years, when we've opened that door and seen what's there, it's been incredibly useful. And I would say it's going to drive us onto a whole other set of things with it, because you've got a level of confidence there now.
Thank you. Bob?
What was the question, David? How has Digital City helped us? What would we use?
Yeah, what difference has it made?
Not a lot. Did it all ourselves. No, there's two big things from Digital City that we've had along the way, and actually it was perfect time for both. So one is obviously the fellowships that we got to start up back in 2013. Where we got some business advice and grant funding, and we were both had good jobs at Team 17 then, working in the industry, and we took a punt. I was actually offered a job at Ubisoft the same day that we started, and the lady there told me to do this because we'd learn a lot more, and yeah, we did. And yeah, without that bit of grant funding, which allowed us to pay our rent and stuff, we wouldn't have been here now. And then the other thing is the Scale program, which came at just the right time. I think we were about 4 or 5 years old then, and it was kind of like I felt I was coming to not running out of steam a bit for business wise, because we'd grown it a bit. We'd grown it from like 2 people to about 10, and it was just a bit like I'm getting a bit out of my depth, and we're doing the right things and all this stuff. And actually, when we were on the Scale program, what I realized was everyone feels like that when they're running a business, and that the big thing I got out from it was self-confidence and self-belief in that what we're doing is right, or some bits weren't quite right and we can fine-tune them, and that really put us not back on track because we were doing the right thing, but put me and my mindset back on track and realized that I was going the right way, and from that we've just refocused and taken the business. There's 30 of us now, I think, and we're just tripling our turnover every year and all sorts. So those two things, the starting and then like the refresher. And I've said before to you, David, it's the type thing with Scale is I would do it again in 3 or 4 years, every few years, just have a little like refresher course and think the lessons you learned in those programs. Our business changed so much from year 1 to year 5, and it's already changed now. We're in year 8, and it's like totally different from year 5. And it's just going to those things and talking to these experts who've been there and done it. Just gives you, a refresher course in your mind, and you just rethink things and how you think things. And it's just they're the 2 big ones for me that have been invaluable.
I've just thought of one more question. So just one word answer. Who do you admire most in business? And it has to just be the name. Don't give a reason.
In local business or in business overall?
Doesn't matter.
Oh man, this is a big question.
Jesus.
We can explore the reasons why in the next one.
Santa Claus, what a delivery record.
I would say that's a big question. I would say someone like let me think. Can't think of anyone. I'll tell you who I quite like at the minute is James Watt from Brewdog.
Oh, that's my answer.
Oh,
You could hear Jimmy's Seaside come out there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, him, or I've just finished reading the Robert Iger autobiography, the old CEO of Disney. That was fascinating.
I said one. I don't know. Mr. Lees, do you want to change or do you want to keep with the same?
James Watt for me. Yeah, I won't give him the reason. Can't be another one. Yeah, but James Watt, yeah.
Good. Yeah. And Ashley, do you want to change from Santa Claus? Or are you happy with your choice?
I'll go with Boss Bro, and I have a big motorsport thing anyway. So.
Excellent. Well, we don't need to know the reasons why. We can explore that later. Well, thank you all. Very much appreciated. And we'll speak again, I have no doubt, in the very near future. All the best.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks very much, guys.